Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to another episode of All the Muches. Welcome all of our Muchkins. There's Michael. This is a show about us two Aqueerians, if you will, who just talk about all of the things, all of the tea, all of the muches. We're your hosts. I'm Chris Colville.
And I'm Michael Bowman Zamora, and we are here to woo you and glamorize you and just be everything with you. Because we are all the muches.
Yes. I was just going to say, we are coming to you remote this evening.
True.
Yes, we are. And of course, we'll be having our topics as usual. And I'm sure some of our topics will include some of our remoteness. And we will let you know where we are very soon. On that note, Michael, do you want to start with our first topic that we always have here on All the Muches?
I do all of the checking in mental health and physical wellness, Henny.
Yes.
I am telling you.
How you doing?
It's like, I will say, after we had our show, I had a really great time last week, and we had a lot of cool people commenting in. I also want to say, like, if you want to comment in, please comment. We will be putting your comments up during the show, and we tend to put up all of the comments. So don't worry about it. We got you. But after the show, I started off saying I had a rough day. I got really mad at my dog for like pulling on the chain, which is like nothing new. And I ended up having a topic for later moment. And so a little like cliffhanger to keep y'all interested. But this week has actually been good. I think the best thing about it is we're both seeing our moms. Mm-hmm. Like, hi.
I know.
It's been a damn year since we've seen our families, and like my mom and my stepdad and my little brother are upstairs, and we just get to see them. And Chip will be here on Friday, so he gets to be with my family.
Oh,
and
amazing.
My sister's getting married this week, and yeah, it's just like, and my other brother will be here tomorrow. So it's just like, how can you not feel good about all of the physical and mental health when you finally get to see your family?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. How are you feeling, babe?
I'm doing well. Part of, so physical wellness, we know the journeys that you and I are on. And if you don't know, we are both on fitness journeys. Mine is keto, but y'all, North Carolina, Super Walmart, they got the keto goods.
Wait, can you tell what are you on?
Keto.
I hope Bradley's watching.
I hope so too. They've got this thing, for those of you who don't know, teasing me, really, just because I mentioned keto 4 or 5 times a day. Because it's what I'm doing. It's my focus. It's what I live for currently.
To help poor unfortunate merfolk like
yourself. Yes. I ate Chinese food the first night I got here because Hunan's is the thing. And it was really good. I try to be pretty keto about it, except for I don't think General Tso's chicken's on that list. So
there's chicken in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's chicken. There's also breading and sugar and probably lots of MSG, but that's okay. That's okay. So that's fine. Honestly, a few days here with my mom. So I'm in North Carolina visiting my mom and
my mama.
And mental wellness, like emotionally, it's been really, really nice to spend this time with her. But I'll be honest with you guys, it's also been emotional. It's been tricky, because COVID's done a number on my mama, and she's been pretty isolated. So, I'm like super happy to be here, super happy to help out, and grateful for her and grateful to spend time with her. But the past 2 days were wonderful. We did all of the nothing.
Oh,
our muches are watching movies. So we watched all the 50 Shades of Grey series because, and
Jamie Dornan is all the muches, babe.
Oh, he is all the muches.
All the muches.
All of them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There are so many wonderful scenes in those movies. And then we watched, and then we flipped the script, and then we watched The Woman in Black 1 and 2. Because my mom and I really love to get into scary movies.
Wait, what is that? Because I love it. You know I love a scary movie. Like, what is The Woman in Black?
This is cute. This is cute. So The Woman in Black, the movie is about this haunting. It's about this woman in black who is constantly haunting this home that's like this giant house in the middle of like East Bum, England, like across from marshes that like the road gets covered by the water twice a day from the tide, like that level of desolation. And it's starring Harry Potter.
Wait, which one?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel. Okay, I was like, which character?
Yeah, Harry himself. Harry.
Harry.
So it stars him. Harry Potter. Harry. So it stars him. And he is like investigating this. He works for like a firm and he needs to collect paperwork that's at this house. And so he goes there and like this whole haunting ensues. And it's this woman in black. Once you see her, a child is bound to die. Oh, hey, Chippy. Hi, honey. Thanks for tuning in. I'm realizing as this show goes on, the sunlight outside is continuing to dim. Should I turn the overhead light on?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, let me know when I get too shadowy.
I also brought my ring light because I still have Viva to do on Saturday. And like, you know, the girls, I'm also like, the one time I'm not in my apartment on Saturday with all of my lights is the one time I'm painting live on the show.
There we go.
Like, could I have planned this worse? No. Okay, so back to the woman in black.
Oh yeah, so once you see her, she's a ghost. Once you see her, a child in the near vicinity is going to die. And they die because they see her and she tells them to do things that kill themselves.
Does it work on airplanes?
I don't know. Because it's got to be around the place that she died.
Oh, so she would have to have been killed on the airplane.
Yes, on like that specific airplane, or maybe in that airport where those flights take off from. Hauntings are very unusual.
Yeah.
Interdimensional existing really is confusing.
We're marking this down as a topic for next week.
Interdimensional existing?
That, and yes, because because both of us do believe in stuff like that.
Yeah.
I also, you know, I see spirits, I feel spirits, I have spirits talk to me. And so like,
oh my God.
Having that conversation next week is definitely going to be on our radar.
All of the ghosts or all of the paranormal activity.
Yes.
But I love that.
You are somewhere special and I am somewhere special. And so just to like roll this conversation a little bit more into what we're about to talk about, we're going to jump into all the travels because you are in.
I'm in North Carolina. Yes. And where are you?
I'm in Michigan. We are the only state where we can say I am from right here. And that's actually where I am right now.
We don't have that North Carolina. It's not.
So in Michigan, it's actually you have to do it. How do you do it? This way. That's the two peninsulas.
Oh wow! And you got the lake and the lake.
No, this is the lower peninsula. This is the upper peninsula.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that. That's tricky. That feels funny on the arm. Excuse me, arms. Yeah, all the travels. How were your travels? How was traveling to Michigan?
Ma'am, let's start with mine because you had a much better experience. As most of you know, we chat before the show goes on. I think we've said that. If not, surprise.
You have to prepare.
Yeah, you have to be prepared. So my travels started.
Oh, good pop.
Thank you. Started off at LaGuardia, which we all know as I've heard a couple of New Yorkers say LaGuardia because nobody in New York pronounces consonants. So I started off at LaGuardia and they changed my terminal twice. Not just gate, but the actual terminal. And so I had to take the shuttle from C terminal to D terminal and then D terminal back to C terminal. I was like, thank God I showed up 2 hours early, like you're actually supposed to, because normally I'm like a 45-minute person, and I'm like, this is going to be fine. Flights are the only thing I actually can, in my brain, calculate to a T. If I, like, depending on the airline, Delta I know takes longer, so that's why I showed up earlier, because everything old school. You have to go to the desk to get your bag ticket printed and all of that.
Right.
All of the other airlines now have updated, and you can do that separately.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but my mom worked for the airlines for almost 20 years of my youth. She worked for Continental, and we had buddy passes and went to all places because of it. And so because of that, I always call myself an airline baby. And the rule of thumb is, and you know me, I am 5 minutes late to everything in my life. But the one thing I will always be remarkably early to is a flight, because the rule that I was taught is 2 hours early to get to the airport, 2 hours for a flight.
I used to be like that. And you know what? New York has broken me from a lot of my, like, we all know I have enough anxieties already. I don't need that to be one of them.
Right.
So I want to say really quick, I saw that we had a few more viewers join. If you want to comment in, one of the things we just talked about was our physical health and wellness, and now we're talking about traveling. And so if you want to see somebody, if you want to travel somewhere, if you have a trip planned, let us know. We want to talk to you about it.
Yes.
So
turn the lights. I'm getting dark.
Turn the lights and touch my body.
Wait, I don't know which light switch it is.
Wait, we're all gonna play this game.
Where is it?
Wait, you just did it.
There it is.
Yeah, you just had it.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Okay. So LaGuardia.
LaGuardia.
Then I get to the gate and things are fine. I'm sitting there doing whatever. You know, airport food is the worst food, by the way, and it always makes people very quickly.
Yes.
Very quickly. That's, by the way, that's a term that Michael Tolbert, Tajma Stetson, and I came up with. When you don't want to be rude and you're not like, I have to go to the bathroom, you just go, I'll be back very quickly. Because things are moving very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that. I got on the plane, and then I am sandwiched. No lie. I'm the window seat next, and it's like the 3-seaters, and it's the 3 and 2. I am sandwiched between this girl who clearly was from Michigan. She looked like she was from Michigan. She looked like she crawled out of the sewer pipe in Michigan. And he's like taking her sweatshirt off and like hitting me with the sleeve, and kept like reaching forward to the people in front of her. And I was like, if she does not stop, I'm about to burst. Then, quick shout out, Tyson. Hey, boys.
Hey, Tyson.
Hey, Tyson. Great to see you.
Thanks for joining, honey.
So not only was she here, her whole family was in the 3 seats in front of us and the 2 seats over. And the stewardess had to come up to them, like, no lie, probably 30 times and say, please pull your mask over your nose. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Every time the guy would pull out his phone and he would look at it, he had to pull his mask down to look at his phone. And I was like, why are these 2 things connected? What is going on here?
Look, don't touch, right?
Yeah. So that was my travel. And then I drove from Detroit Airport to East Lansing, which is like an hour and 20-minute drive. And I will say this. I drive in New York. You've ridden with me driving in New York.
Yeah.
I have driven in LA. And I would choose either of those locations over the crazy drivers in Michigan any day.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Yikes.
So, Tyson, yes. Oh, my God, have these people ever flown before? I wish I could answer that for sure, but I'm guessing no.
Right. We don't know.
So, Chris and I had complete opposite travel stories, and yours is, dear.
Yeah, so for those of you just joining us, our topic right now is all the travels, because Michael has traveled to Michigan. I have traveled to North Carolina. So we are having all the muches remotely today. And my travel story is very interesting. So I decided to book myself a first class ticket, because it was only $100 difference between first class and coach for 2 connecting flights to North Carolina and 2 back. So that's $25 a flight, first class. Wonderful. Let's do it. We deserve it. All the self-care. Yeah.
Tell them.
All the self-care. So I was like, let's go. Speaking of self-care, so I was first class, row 2D to be exact, next to C. And in 2C was a very dapper, good-looking man with those cute, like, Clark, like, strong-framed glasses, a nice suit.
Clark Kent, you were going to say, right?
That's his name. That's it. All the names. I forget them all the time. So,
I also have flight hair, and so I keep doing this to it. It's like, get back.
That hair's so long, though. Oh, wow. That's amazing. So we sit down in first class, and almost immediately, now, mind you, my flight was at 6 a.m. I'm an airport baby, so I get there by 4 a.m., which means I left to make sure I got there early by 3 a.m., which means I didn't go to bed. So what does Chris do when he gets home from work at 1 a.m. and doesn't go to bed? He goes upstairs and sees his neighbors and drinks 3 cocktails.
I was going to say smoke a joint.
No. Oh, God, no. Oh, I would be so lost at the airport. I don't know what I would do.
I was this close to smoking a joint before I came to work, before I came to Michigan.
Oh my God, Michael, you just reminded me. I meant to get
the gift. We'll get it.
Okay, yeah.
I have one comment come in about my trip. Michigan drivers are the worst, and you're about to see just how anti-mask this state is. Ew, I hate that. But welcome back to the Mint in which I could see you. I am actually mostly free on Saturday and Sunday, so maybe. You never know.
Nice. So if anyone's tuning in, my family, I'm sorry I didn't contact you here in North Carolina. I had 3 days. I really need to be with my mom, but I love you.
Kind of same, but I'm piecing people in that I like.
There you go. There you go. I've been trying to piece in all these boys hitting me up on Grindr, but I don't think it's worth it. So exactly. But speaking of men, so this man that was sitting next to me in first class was very dapper, and he was cute, and I was feeling all kinds of good. And his name is Bo. And before the flight even took off, we were having really cute banter, led to me putting my hand on his hand, which did not move, led to us sharing a kiss. And then the plane took off, and we spent the entire, I don't know how long it takes from New York, LaGuardia to Charlotte, but an hour and a half, 2 hours, sneaking lots of kisses in because, mask rules.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of my mask rule story, is I was the one violating that mask rule.
You know what though? You were in first class.
Yes, and there's all more space, and we were both fully vaccinated.
Or so he told you.
So he told me, but I'm fully vaccinated. So, but anyway, his name is Bo, and we spent the entire trip kissing and snuggling and getting to know each other. And now he lives in Chicago, and he has already booked a flight just to come see me in New York City this Friday.
I can't wait for our dinner this weekend. No, I'm just kidding. I actually will be in Michigan until I fly back on Monday. So
I'll be working. I don't know what he's going to do to keep himself busy. I mean, he's here often, so.
He's there, and we are not there.
It's true.
You know what we haven't done, Chris?
What?
What are you drinking?
Oh my God! So y'all, there's no drink.
Preface it, please.
There's no drink like your mama's best Walmart special plasticware and cute little straws. I wanted to go with my ensemble. And of course, Michael and I decided we were going to talk about the difference between city drinking and suburban drinking.
Yes.
Because this is an absolute raspberry, and because I'm keto, some sort of Walmart branded flavored seltzer with aspartame.
Work. Come on, aspartame.
Asper who?
Coming to the stage, Aspartame.
Aspartame her? I don't even know her.
So I, my friends, have taken it to the Michigan extreme. And, you know, when I get to Michigan, I had to get my Faygo. And my mom opened up her cabinet. Now, mind you, let's just, I'm prefacing this with when...
While you're talking, I'm going to mute me and make myself a second beverage.
Okay.
Can I mute me?
If not, just make a second beverage. You're fine, girl. Okay, so you'll hear ice clinking in the background. For all, this is a good time for me to say, for all of our podcasters out there, anybody listening in that would like to see our show live, we go live each and every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Go ahead and log on to our Facebooks, our YouTubes, Twitch and Twitter, and we will be there for you. Tyson said, yes, Faygo, per last week's episode. Yes, 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 right here in the original Red Pop. So my mom cannot drink like regular drinks. My mom has to have something that has like 72 ounces of sugar in it. So even for my sister's wedding, my mom is getting special wine that is sweet wine. So I am drinking, I got into my mom's cabinet and I'm drinking Faygo Red Pop and none other than the old school, the good old, let's give this a college try again, Parrot Bay Coconut.
Parrot Bay. Not even Malibu. We're going Parrot Bay with it.
You know what, though? I will say, back in college, we used to drink the Parrot Bay passion fruit mixed with just like 7-Up or Sprite, and it was,
how was that?
Everything.
Yes.
Jackson, hello,
Jackson,
hello.
Hi, honey. How are you?
So all that to say, you had an amazing travel, and mine was meh.
Yeah. I mean, the connecting flight. By the way, small planes. That first class is a joke. That small plane on the way from Charlotte to Fayetteville was
it too. Yeah, they basically just put you in a seat closer to the door. It's all the same once you're on those small planes.
Yeah, I'm like, my seat's no nicer or bigger at all.
No, at all.
You're not desolate at all.
So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so we're just hanging out with our families and doing our things. Agreed. Well done, Chris.
Why, thank you, Tyson.
Oh,
you know me, honey. I will always tell you my escapades.
Tyson actually reminded me what I was gonna say. No matter where Chris goes, he will always find somebody to smooch on.
Listen, the universe wants me to enjoy lots of kisses.
You want you to enjoy lots of kisses.
Oh, I sure do.
The universe is just like, do what you got to do, girl. Because
these things come to me. What can I say?
This one, I was at his job the other day, and he was like, I might be having somebody come visit me, and I'm not sure if I'm up for it or not. I was like, then don't have them come visit you. Tyson is laughing, and Jackson, I've been all right. How have y'all been? I see you're in separate locations. Yes. Chris?
Yeah, so Jackson, our first topic that we're still on right now, second topic, because the first one is our mental wellness and physical well-being. So our second topic, all the travels. I have traveled to North Carolina to see family and me mama for Mother's Day, and Michael has traveled to Michigan to see family and his mama.
The Mitten State.
Yeah.
Also, I have to say this. I've been wanting to say this entire time. I'm in a swivel chair, and I can't help but do this. So if you see me like...
Me too! Yes, swivel chair!
Swivel chair! All right, y'all. So we're going to take it a little bit more serious for a second. Chris and I wanted to pull in one of Chris's favorite topics. Mm-hmm. All the waterworks.
All the waterworks. And y'all, by waterworks, I'm in North Carolina. Y'all's gonna come out a lot. Y'all, but that's what happens. I get down here and the accent sort of becomes me. But I haven't really been around anyone except my mother, and she has a very strong New England accent, so that shouldn't happen a whole lot unless I think about it.
So do you, darling.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I lost Wicked within the first year of moving to New York City, so luckily that has stucketh.
Wait, can I say some good news also?
Yeah, talk about it.
September 17th, Wicked is back on stage.
I know, and my friend's coming back from North Carolina to be in it.
Yes! There was a list of like 7 shows that they were like for sure are going to be back on Broadway, and Wicked, of course, is one of them.
Of course, the second longest running show on Broadway history, second to Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.
No, I love Phantom. You know me. I love the classics.
Girl, I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Phantom?
I have never seen Phantom live.
Here's one for you, babe.
Awesome. I was just in the Carolinas 2 weeks ago. Depending on where in North Carolina you are, check out Plaza Maywood. It's in Charlotte and an amazing part of town. Thank you so much, Jackson. Yeah, I am in Fayetteville, which is about 2 hours east of Charlotte. I'm actually in a small Dust Bowl town of Fayetteville called Rayford that has pretty lawns and lots of farms and not much else.
He's where the country folk live.
I'm where the country folk live, honey, okay? I'm having my sweet tea, a.k.a. Absolute Raspberry and Aspartame Seltzer.
Can I tell you, this bottle was up to here when I came down here because this is like juice.
My mother and I finished a full bottle that she had 2 days ago of 3 Olives vodka last night.
I have not drank 3 Olives. And I remember back in the day when I thought 3 Olives was like...
It?
The thing.
You thought it was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we said. The difference between city drinking and suburb drinking. 3 Olives, suburb it, the city Tito's.
Incredible that Broadway is opening up this fall. Great sign for New York City. Honey, we can't wait.
You're absolutely right, Tyson.
You're talking to 2 of the biggest fans of Broadway in the world. Just
we have thespians.
Like I feel like this, and I feel like I can say this for you. If there was no show happening and we were just sitting in a Broadway theater, just the feeling is so that for us.
Yeah.
We don't have to be on stage. Of course, we would be on stage, but
I would already feel and think of all the wonderful songs. Actually, the first thing that came to my mind when you mentioned being in a theater, and even if the show wasn't happening, reminds me of the second to last show I saw before COVID, which was oh my gosh, the song "Wait for Me, I'm Coming."
Is that Evan Hansen?
No. It starred. Oh my goodness, why can't I think of it? It won the Tony. It won the Tony for Best Musical.
I'm bad with the new ones.
I'm bad with names. Tyson, if you could think of it, if you recognize that song I sang, please leave a comment, because it starred the girl who played Kim in Miss Saigon, the revival.
Leah Salonga?
Not Leah Salonga. She is another Asian descended girl who is super talented, super young.
Hadestown.
Hadestown. That's it. Yes.
You know what I did?
Well done. What did you do?
Googled.
Oh, good for you. My phone is this show, so it is inaccessible. So I'm glad you have yours.
I have a video interview tomorrow, so I brought my laptop.
Hallelujah.
All right.
So should we get back to the topic?
Speaking of being able to, Katie just got it. Katie, I'm giving you the credit because it takes.
Oh, Katie! Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Oh my God, you don't even know. That's my girl. That's my girl. She's like my sister from another Mister. She's
well then, why don't you tell me how she gives you the waterworks?
Oh, actually, this is perfect. You don't understand. Katie used to be Rondo, now married into Conjagian. I can't tell her anything sweet or lovely or wonderful and sharing my love for her without getting the waterworks, actually, because she is just that person for me. I've known her since I was 13 years old, known each other since junior high school. Went to high school together, performed together, sang together, went to college together, performed together, sang together. And she's just always been that little sister to me, just that person who has such a strong piece of my heart. And every time I think about her and think about her wonderful family that she's built, it makes my heart, what's this, pump? Makes my heart beat. That's the word. We say that word when we talk about love. We say beat, not pump.
It does pump blood though, so you're good.
Anyway, so Katie is one of those people who has always given me the waterworks. Yeah, we wanted to talk about all the waterworks today because we thought it was important.
You're a big fan of people crying.
Yeah, I am. I think crying is cathartic. I think crying is a way that we release emotions and built up or pent up stress and things that we are feeling and dealing with that we might have a hard time facing. Oh, Katie, love you, Topher. I miss you so friggin' much. Same.
I love this.
Yeah, that's how she gets me. She gets me to that place where it's like it gets physical. Like, ah! Yeah. I miss you so much, Katie. I love you so much. She has such a beautiful family. I love you and Jeremy and your beautiful 3 kids. I haven't even met your youngest yet. I cannot wait. I'm going to come visit. Maybe in June. Maybe around your birthday, because there's also a wedding I have to go to around that time that is back in my house. So I'll be in touch with you. So yeah, the waterworks. I think it's important to express how much I think crying is important, significant, valid, should not be stigmatized or shamed, because it allows us to move the energy that is building up inside us that is meant to move. And if we don't move it, that's when it can build into frustration and anger. And always have a place to stay here from my friend Katie. Thanks, Katie. I appreciate it, honey. I'll let you know. Yeah, so just wanted to talk about all the waterworks, about ways that we have been moved into a place of crying, or the waterworks as we're calling it. What do you think, Michael? What are your thoughts on the topic?
It's hard. I've always grown up in kind of a, I think it comes from having an ethnic background and and knowing that like suppression has been such an easy way to like deal with stuff like that. And so crying.
Can you describe that ethnic background for our listeners who might not know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of I don't know how to describe it, honestly. I think the best way to describe it is the like, when you see in the movies, like the old grandmother saying like, oh, walk it off, or like, oh, get over it, or like
pull yourself up,
pull yourself together. Yeah, those sort of things. I think that's kind of like the internal monologue I have with that. And it's not easy for me to like show emotion. And when I do, it's usually like because the seams are bursting. And I think that's kind of what you're saying is like, don't let your seams burst. Like, let it out when you need to let it out. And I, over the years, as I've been finding myself in my own spirituality, in my own like religious ways, and having my own catharsism to like fall back on, I have to figure out, it's taken 34 years so far, and it's probably going to take another 34 before I get all the way there. But it takes a while, because, we're taught in those households to like not show that emotion, because that's weakness, and that's like how people get you, and like those sort of things. So it's definitely like it's even, you can see it. I'm sure you can see it. It's in people who are watching. It's even kind of like, I'm looking around, I'm usually this, or I'm like right at you. And so it's even kind of uncomfortable to describe, even though now in my adult life, I'm more comfortable with it.
Yeah. For those of you listening on our podcast, when Michael said, because it's a weakness, that was meant to be like in quotations. We don't believe weakness.
Definitely. And when, I mean, you've seen me with other people. I am a proponent of like, please just do it and cry on my shoulder. And I'm here.
Yeah, you're a mama bear.
but when it comes to me, it's so hard for me to show that. And maybe that also is like I've been the older sibling for so long. I've been the person who takes care of the other people, and like, it's just kind of, it's almost foreign to me. Like, even the other night, I said I had a moment. The moment was I finally broke down and I cried, and I was just, and my husband was like, "Oh shit."
Chip was like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't do this.
Luckily, he's good hand with me and what I deal with and how I deal with things. So he knew what to do, but I even had to like hide from myself almost.
Sure.
Like I waited until even my dogs were out of the room, and then I was like, I can let go. And then I like stood in a closet. Not like I didn't like go in the closet, but I was like hanging my coat up, and I like stood there until I could compose myself, and then I turned around.
Yeah, that reminds me of a time when I first moved to New York. I worked at the in the presidential suites at the U.S. Open, serving tables, and they work you to.
Did you happen to meet Stanley Tucci there?
Oh, I did actually. I did. One of my favorite New York stories ever was my time with
going though. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I will not go into that. We've done that already on air, and unless someone asks, I will not. But they work you to the bone at that job, and I knew that I was just super unaligned and overworked and overstressed, and I said to myself, I was like, Chris, you just need to go find a space and literally cry. And that's what I did. I went around a corner. I actually told someone this is what I was going to do, and I just need a moment. And I found like this little closet, and I went in the closet and I sat down and I like sobbed for like 5 minutes. And then I wiped away the tears, made sure my face was fine. And then I got back to it, and I was so much better. I let a lot of stress out that I needed to let out, and I could function properly because I couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in such agreement with that. It's just so hard to allow it sometimes.
100%, and sometimes I don't either. I had a friend recently tell me like, "Oh, it's so cute how you make angry faces to stop yourself from crying." And I thought about it in the moment. I'm like, why am I stopping myself from crying? But there are those moments when we don't want to show that level of vulnerability, for sure. I'm talking about the kind of waterworks when like you need to take care of yourself and release that emotion and release that energy, because emotion is energy in motion and it needs to be expressed.
Say it again.
Emotion is energy in motion and it needs to be expressed. Otherwise it can cause a number of problems, from anxiety and stress induced depression.
Diarrhea in the stomach, indigestion, heartburn. Now just
diarrhea.
something we're singing about.
Listen.
But speaking of when we have waterworks, we usually like to turn to some sort of something. And
we do.
Yeah, we like to turn towards almost an enabler in ways, something to cool our nerves, but also allow us to release that tension. And in our case, we both tend to love wine, so we turn to all the vino.
All the vino. Yes.
So we wanted this subject for a lot of different reasons. One, you and I have worked in food and beverage for God knows how long, centuries now.
All of the years.
And we both have been huge fans of wines. So Chris and I have made kind of a promise to each other, and I'm just putting this out there to our Muchkins.
Muchkins. Oh, for those of you who don't know, Michael and I decided today that those of you who are viewing us and want to continue to view us and enjoy our show, you are referred to as our Muchkins.
Merch coming soon.
Yeah, merch coming soon.
But we are huge fans of wine. We are, and there's, I don't think there's a, obviously we have like our favorite varietals and blends and places things come from. But I think we know how to appreciate everything from an ice wine to like a Chianti.
Sure.
And I mean, there's
Full
obviously,
spectrum.
yeah, full spectrum. And I say this like, I don't say this a lot, but I think it a lot. Like, I enjoy tasting wine with you and having wine with you, because we can joke. We joke about some of the Psalms that are out there, like, this tastes like fresh cut grass and a fresh opened can of tennis balls. And we're like, sure, 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 sure. But we also know like what berries are, and like what the minerality means, and what clay versus like a rock formation in growing regions means, and like what salinity of like ocean water can do to things. That's why California wines and like the North Fork wines are so great, because the salinity in them, it has that like salty, almost umami flavor to them.
Yes.
So anyway, that was my intro to this, and I wanted to toss it over to you to talk a little bit about your favorites.
Yeah, come on, off the vino. So yeah, it's a super fun topic. We're very passionate about wine. As Michael said, we've both worked in wine a lot. We both traveled a lot from wine.
We both want to be level 1 somms.
We both want to be level 1 somms. For those of you who don't know what a somm is, that's short for a sommelier, and that is a master of wine of sorts. There are different levels. I believe to this day there are still only like, I think there's less than 100 master sommeliers in the world, right?
Yeah, because it's almost an impassable test.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. There are hundreds of grape varietals of wine.
Because so just really quick, just to go along with what you're saying, there's the taster certification, which we will have to get to become a level 1, and then there's level 2, and then master. Level 1 is like understanding regions and knowing how to taste wines, and making sure that it's like, what the difference between a white and a red and a blush and a blush.
Yeah, level 1 they actually call also, like in parentheses, your intro to sommelier certification.
Yes. And then level 2 gets pretty. Actually, level 2 gets pretty deep, and it's like the difference in natural champagnes and like champagnes that they CO2, or like that they do a different type of what am I trying to say? Fizziness too. Carbonation. Thank you. And then master sommeliers, you actually, when you taste the wine, you have to tell them what region, who the grower was, what year you think it was, all of those. And like, that's great to have if you're working at like the top wine Michelin restaurant, but unnecessary otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like you will not hear Michael and I spout out any sort of ridiculous pretense. Pretentiousness that a lot of the industry has influenced into being mainstream. I feel like the industry is trying to shy away from that, or I hope people like us who get into the industry can help it become something that's much more grounded and relatable. Because what's the purpose of knowing about wines if it's not to share that knowledge with the masses so everyone can enjoy what it means to enjoy wine?
Yes.
So I don't know. What should we talk about? Favorite varietals?
May I ask you your favorite type of red and white wine?
Okay. Absolutely, you can. I would say my favorite white is a Viognier, because it just has it's a medium to full body white. For those of you not familiar with the Viognier, another full body white might be a Chardonnay, like a full body Chardonnay. A Viognier is different though. It's much more viscous. It has an oily sort of taste. It's not so much a texture as it is just like this richness, this
it kind of like sits on your palate longer.
It does. Yeah, it sits on your palate longer. It's got this richness. It's got this earthy, sort of really grounded white. It's not like a Sauvignon Blanc that's fresh and citrusy and of stone fruit and is light, and it sits light on the palate and throws back real easily. Viognier, it sits there. It's a nice. It would go well with steak, even for white, because it's more full bodied and has that quality. So that's my favorite white. Is a Viognier. I mean, if I was having nothing but sitting at a bar and having a glass of Viognier, like, gorgeous. Thank you. You know, it's the appetizer and the glass all in one. My favorite red. What is my favorite red? I think, to make it really easy without going crazy with it, I just am such a fan of a nice New World jammy Cabernet. Just a nice New World jammy Cabernet. The difference between New World and Old World usually comes from Europe. Yep. The processing is different. The oak barrels are different. New World wines tend to be a lot more fruit forward, flavor forward, yep. Less subtle, more in your face.
Sometimes there's not even sometimes the barrels are metal in New World.
Right. Yes, steel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I live for a delicious jammy. By jammy, I mean like it's like those red fruits are popping like it's a jam. Cabernet, you know, Acheval Ferrer is the first one that comes to mind that I live for. That's a Chilean, I believe it's a Chilean. I think it's from Chile. Brand of Cabernet that is just nom 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 nom. If you want to go store bought, that's fine. You could get Josh Cabernet is jammy and delicious.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, and you can find it at like anywhere from $17 to $21 a bottle at your local Shaw's or Hannaford's. I'm naming off New England supermarkets, but
a little higher for your mouth, darling. I saw you.
Yeah. I often miss the straw. So those are my two favorite. To be real. How about you? What are your two favorites? What's your favorite white and favorite red?
It's easy for me. Cab Sauv, Cab Franc.
There we go.
Like I love that's right. And then I like a good Sauvignon Blanc, honestly. I do. I like the like the citrusiness of it. I like that a lot of times it's very green apple-y. I'm a huge apple.
Yeah.
Michigan high apple pie.
Yeah.
Like
a question for you. Are you feeling a Sauvignon Blanc from like New Zealand that's like tropical fruits? Or are you feeling a Sauvignon Blanc from France similar to Sancerre that's more stone fruit?
Yes.
Give that girl all the fucking Sauvignon Blanc. She'll take it.
Literally. I also actually good. Vino Verdes I really like because a lot of times they have a little bit of carbonation to them. And so they're like a sparkling, they're almost this is how I know it is green wine, but it actually is like green wine is what the flavors to me. It's very wow. It has that like effervescence of like really, really bright herbs. That's what I'm trying to say. And so it's almost like having like a seltzered apple pie or like a seltzered peach cobbler or like something like that because the spices are in it. But there's some good Vino Verdes. There's one from Trader Joe's because you can get some really fucking good wine from Trader Joe's.
Absolutely.
And $2 checks are nobody should sneeze at because sometimes I've actually there's a you can look it up by looking up Trader Joe's sommelier, but there's a level 2 somm that goes through Trader Joe's wines and talks about how good they are compared to like those $1,000 bottle of wines that we've, sometimes we've had the chance to try in the back before we served it to the customer. I've had a couple of those. But no, Vino Verdes they're really good summer wines. I'm also a huge blend fan. So when vineyards make table wines, it's the first thing I want to try. Because usually it's one of their best wines and the cheapest thing they have because they've put their favorite things together.
Yes.
That's easy to drink. I love easy to drink wine. By the time I walk away from the table, I want to have 6, 7, 12 glasses of wine in.
Listen, I mean, Montauk, Wolfer Estate Table Rosé. Holy goodness.
They're summer in a bottle.
I mean. So good. Not to mention the bottle is absolutely ridiculous. It's super cute and adorable, covered in flowers. Can be used as a vase after.
And not to mention, so we were going to talk about some of our favorite vineyards. You said Wolfer Estates. We went to the Finger Lakes together, which we'll end with. But on the North Fork, Bedell Cellars is one. They're friends of mine. The Merlot was poured at the Obama inauguration. Both of them.
Amazing. Wait, wasn't their head somebody or something at your wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl, that friend, the girl, she was wonderful.
This is going to be a good question, which I'll do in a second. Whitney, who is their master, their cellar master. So not their main. Help me out here.
Wait, not their main psalm, not their main.
Winemaker. Jeez.
Got
it. She's basically the junior winemaker.
Oh, she was absolutely wonderful. We need to connect with her.
So she's great. Actually, she might have gotten another job, but it's heading. Actually, she got a job heading the wine district. So basically, she regulates wines for all of the North Fork, I think now.
Wow.
So
wow.
Bedell Cellars Sparkling Point is they have really good sparkling wines. And I want to say this really quick, because I think you and I know this, but our listeners may not. Just because champagne is champagne does not mean that there are not other sparkling wines that are not as good. Cava
from Spain
are brilliant. Some Proseccos are brilliant. Italian. Some in the US we just call them sparkling wines because we clearly don't have anything clever to call them. But there are so many great sparkling wines that are not just that you don't have to go out and buy the Moet and Chandon or the and honestly don't go buy Moet anyways. If you're gonna buy Moet, just upgrade $3 for Veuve because it's a better vineyard. They have a better grape variety. And but this question came in, which is actually what put me there. Marcel asked,
Marcel, what's up, my friend? What's good for Mimosa?
Your Facebook picture is badass.
Marcel Lavalle is badass.
But what's good for mimosas? Honestly, I would say
Prosecco.
Here's the thing, though. A decent Prosecco is not going to run you a ton of money. So get yourself a decent one because the ones that are in those like bright orange bottles will give you the headache of a lifetime.
There you go. What's up, Marcel? It's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
You have actually had the pleasure of being in Italy. So I would love to hear from you about your Italian experience with wine.
Yeah. I mean, a few years back, did a little tour of Italy. And we stayed at a couple of vineyards in Tuscany. One was this cute little farm, and then we stayed at this wonderful. The farm was just outside of this gorgeous little fortress town called Montalcino, and so there we had a lot of Brunello is their most infamous red. Brunello di Montalcino was very much the thing. We tried, I think we did like a wine tasting in a castle of like 10 of them. And I brought 2 or 3 bottles home. But it's a wonderful red, Brunello di Montalcino. It's delicious. Medium bodied, but very fruit forward. kind of effervescent, medium bodied, but like easy to drink, medium to light, I'd say. But it was really, really wonderful. And then the next place we went to was this castle, like this fortress and vineyard up on the highest area of Greve in Chianti called Castel di Vicchiomaggio. And it was stunning. Absolutely stunning. If y'all ever get a chance to go to Tuscany, I recommend staying at Castel di Vicchiomaggio.
Booking my trip as we speak.
Yes. They have an infinity pool that's overlooking not just their rolling hills of vineyard of grapes, but rolling hills as far as the eye can see. Just ridiculous. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun to go out to Italy and taste all of the wine. There is so much in Italy, and France is also obviously a huge place to have wine.
Chip and my dream for our wedding honeymoon. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of words today?
Who are you, me?
Yeah, clearly was to go on a 2-week tour of Europe and do a fashion and beverage tour.
Yeah.
Obviously that was different. We did something different, but obviously that trip is still planned, but I think we want to do it with a group of people. So we will be doing that.
Listen, I'm in. You let me know. You tell me the dates and we'll go.
Question for you, darling.
Yes.
And so we can talk about our last wine experience together, and then we are rounding out the hour. So look at us.
Yeah.
Were you surprised at how great the Finger Lakes were?
So Michael and I, we went on a trip to the Finger Lakes with some friends. The Finger Lakes region are a series of lakes that literally look like fingers in upstate New York. And they're very well known for their wines. There are like 5 to 7 lakes that are really popular. But then there's
Lake Keuka.
We were on Lake Keuka. Michael got us this gorgeous B&B stay that was right on the lake. It was stunning. We were very fortunate. And so we went to, oh my gosh, so many vineyards, tried so much wine. Was I surprised? Honestly, no, I was not.
Really?
Well, I heard that the Finger Lakes region is known for its wine. I was expecting the Tuscany of upstate New York, and we got it.
Interesting. I was expecting a bunch of ice wine factories.
Oh, well, we certainly did get that, right? We've got a handful of Rieslings.
We did, and we got some actually really good. We did get some really good ice wines too. Like
we did.
I will say this: their dry Rieslings surpass a million other dry Rieslings I've ever had in my entire life. And they're heavy on Germanic wines, which is very interesting because it's not like people don't think, when they think wine, they think French Italian, and you don't think like German varietals.
Right, but you just don't, you forget your Rieslings, you forget your Gewürztraminers, you forget, yeah. And those are two that come to mind for me, but
yeah. I remember us sitting down at dinner. One of the last, it was after Rustin left us. We went to that little place down at the bottom of the lake, and we couldn't get enough of that wine, and we ended up going to the place the next day and just loading up on that specific wine.
Oh, I forget what it was called.
And it was red, and it was just like the most drinkable wine we've ever had in our entire life.
Yeah, we ended up buying like a case.
Yeah,
like you bought a case, we bought a case. Yeah, of their house red, because it was just so good.
So any of our New Yorker fans, if you have a chance, go up to the Finger Lakes. It's a great time. We are going to find ourselves hopefully on the North Fork very soon.
Yeah, let us know if you're curious about some of the places we've been to at info@allthemuches.com. Feel free to email us there with any thoughts or questions or suggestions of topics next week, and get to us if you want to know the best places you can have wine in the Finger Lakes.
Yeah. Best place to reach us once again, info@allthemuches.com. All the Muches is exactly how it sounds. So info@allthemuches.com. Once again, we have enjoyed sitting with you. We will be back together next week, thankfully. I get to see my bestie and we get to have fun. But until then, we love you.
We love you. I love you all the muches, Michael.
Are we gonna try this?
Do you want me to start it?
If you want to.
We love you all the
muches. See, if we carried it out, we were good. But thank you for tuning in today. Again, a great episode. Chris, I can't wait to see you next week.
Same, babe.
Sooner than that, obviously, but love you, babe. Bye.
Mwah. Bye, everyone.